How do you become the most important person in the world to a five sensory as a six sensory? You do that by fulfilling their needs rather than trying to fill your own and assuming that they're the same. So what are the needs of the five sensory that need to be filled? The first one is respect, and respect is so easily broken between a five sensory and a six sensory accidentally. Why? Because we process the world very differently. We have these intuitive skills to see things coming before they happen as a sixth sensory, and five sensories don't have this ability. So we can accidentally disrespect them when we are know-it-alls and we predict things that are going to happen, but we kind of go against their decision-making and logical guidance. So how do we find a balance where we can find something to respect them for? Well, that's just it. How do we find ways to give them their need of respect? We do that by finding something about them that we admire. Maybe the five sensory is really, really good at carpentry, or maybe they're really excellent at preparing a good meal, or they have some kind of skill that we don't have as a sixth sensory, and we can really offer them praise and really admire them for that skill. Think about it, six sensories. When was the last time you praised a five sensory for their skills? When was the last time you validated their point of view and said that you're right? And then they'll know that they have your respect and they're going to feel good in a relationship with you. And you should always date five sensories who are superior to you in some way. So maybe we're always superior to them to some extent because we have our intuition and our ability to foresee things that are coming. But they have other skills that we don't have as six sensories. And if we can find something about them to admire, then we can meet their need for respect. Five sensories also enjoy feeling needed, but be careful with this advice, six sensories. That does not mean that you call, text, and talk to them about your every last need. What it means is that you ask for their help in ways where they can genuinely be of service. And this is actually a good test to make sure you're dating a really good person who's a five sensory. If you have a flat tire, can you call them and ask them for advice on what to do? If you've been out with them late at night and you come home, are they checking on you to make sure that you're safe when you come home? If you're doing some kind of physical activity, are five sensories checking? Are you wearing comfortable enough shoes? Are you warm enough? Are you too cold? If you've lost one of your possessions, are five sensories willing to help you look for it? If a five sensory actually offers advice, do you follow it? Are you taking it seriously? Do you just want to talk to them to vent, or do you actually want them to solve your problem? Because usually five sensories are problem solvers, and they get kind of annoyed if you keep bringing the same issues to them over and over again. Quite frankly, six sensories can too, actually. But five sensories have a very low tolerance for this. They want you to go to the solution and get it done, and that's what they're good at. We also have to stay focused on our priorities as six sensories until the end of days. That means never giving up your meditation habit for a five sensories priority. That means never giving up your fitness because a five sensory told you that it wasn't okay for whatever reason. You didn't have enough time to balance everything. If you start losing your priorities in a relationship with a five sensory, and it can seem really innocent, it might even appear very logical, like they ask you to stop working out at a gym because it's dangerous due to COVID, like that was going around a few years ago. But that was a hard one because there was a logical argument to that. However, if there's something that appears logical, but underneath you're being asked to give up something that's very important to you, be very, very careful in moving forward. You don't want to give up who you are or your authentic self for any five sensory relationship ever. And you are better off being single for the rest of your life. I will vouch for that, rather than giving up who you truly are as a six sensory in favor of any five sensory in your life. And that is the last tip I have for making five sensories see you as the most important person in the world to them. It's to have your boundaries. Stand up for yourself, keep the things that are important to you when five sensories challenge you and tell you to get rid of the things that are important to you. Keep your crystals, keep your meditation practice. Don't let people bully you out of your belief system just because they disagree with you. You have to keep those things that are important to you, the things that help you stay positive and stay happy. Don't let others who disagree with you get in the way of your happy life as a sixth sensory. The last note I want to leave you with as a sixth sensory who wants to become the most unforgettable person to a five sensory is that we're serious and we're committed to living our happiest, fullest life. Five sensories may not have that same commitment that we do, but they will respect the heck out of it. If we stick to our guns and we stick to our values and say, this is what makes me happy, this is what helps me show up in the world and be a really happy, positive person, six sensories and five sensories may not see eye to eye on that. Five sensories may argue with you overtly about that. They may even call you names. But after they walk away and they've had some time to miss you and reflect on that conversation, which could have seemed very provocative, it could have felt very uncomfortable at the time, and you might have felt like you weren't doing the right thing, they will come around and they'll realize that they should align with you because you are showing yourself self-respect and you're not allowing them to bully you into their lifestyle. And that's what a lot of five sensories do. They bully each other into each other's viewpoint. And so when they see that you're willing to stand up for yourself as a sixth sensory and you won't curb to their bullying and their belittling behavior, they'll actually start respecting you and leaving you alone. They will not continue to bully you because they know that you're firm in your position and that if they continue to harass you or do the things that cross your boundaries, that you will actually kick them out of their life. And they will love you and never forget you for it. And here's another secret actually. Even if they go out of your life and they disagree with you, they will always be thinking about you because they will remember how much self-respect you had for yourself.